All right. Fifth graders. This is a combination video, okay? 3.3 was on adding decimals. 3.4 was about subtracting decimals. 3.5 and 3.6 actually just kind of need to be combined. They're essentially the same thing. So there's really not a reason for Mr. Swack to make two separate videos. We will do one lesson 3.5 one day, 3.6 the next day, but we're not going to make a separate video. So if you need to watch it twice, that's fine. But if you really watch it once, I think you're going to be fine for both days. Solve each expression. An expression is a math problem that does not have an equal sign. When we start to get into equal signs, that's what we call equations. And those will come soon enough, my fifth grade friends. Mr. Swack loves equations. So with these expressions, when there's multiple steps, we just have to follow the order of operations. Now, I'm not going to write all those down again, but we want to remember that PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses for the P. You will not have any parentheses today. Exponents for the E. You will not have any exponents today. The M and the D for multiply and divide left to right. You will not have any multiplication and division left to right the next 2 days. The A and the S stand for adding and subtracting left to right. That's all you'll be doing, is adding and subtracting left to right, which means on every problem, fifth grade, you're just going to be able to move left to right. You're not going to need to skip around. So the key is that they're all going to be written what we call horizontally, which is left to right, which is different than what you've seen them on your paper the past couple of days. Here we have 2 and 3/10 plus 37 and 2/10 plus 13 and 26 hundredths. So essentially, all I'm doing is I'm going to rewrite this problem as 2 and 3/10 plus 37 and 2/10, making sure the decimals are lined up. Who cares if the numbers are, you have a number sticking out here or there. What's important is that the decimals are lined up. So once I have that established, I'm going to do 3 plus 2, and that's 5. I'm just going to add these like I normally would. Drop the decimal. 2 plus 7 is 9. Nothing in 3 is 3. I end up with 39.5. Don't be in such a rush, fifth grade. You forget to do the second part. You now have to add 13 and 26 hundredths. So I'm going to come over here. 39 and 5/10, which is the answer I got over here, plus 13 and 26 hundredths. Well, remember, there's nothing there. That's like a 0. You can insert that 0 if you want. But Mr. Swack, when you're adding, kind of wants you to remember, you know what, that's just 0 plus 6. And you can drop the 6. Then I have 5 plus 2. Well, 5 plus 2 is 7. Then we're going to go ahead down and drop the decimal. 9 plus 3 is 12. Put the 2 down. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. I end up with 52 and 76 hundredths. Now, I go on to this next one. Sometimes it's just going to be one problem. And essentially, the only thing you need to remember is I'm going to rewrite it vertically in my scratch work, and I'm going to make sure the decimal is lined up. So I give you space on the paper, and fifth graders, I am going to want you to actually rewrite the problem going up and down, or what we call vertically. Okay? So in this situation, I've got 3 and 72 hundredths plus 5 and 68 hundredths. Make sure the decimal is lined up. 2 plus 8 is 10. Put the 0 down. Carry the 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. Put the 4 down. Drop the decimal. Carry the 1 for the 14. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. I end up with 9 and 40 hundredths. Going to look at a total of 5. Here's number 3. Here's an example of another one that just has one step. 2 numbers. It's a subtraction problem. Your job is going to be to rewrite it 19 and 57 hundredths minus 8 and 635 thousandths. Remember, in this situation, since you're subtracting, you're going to want to go ahead when you subtract and insert the 0. Now here, I'll let you in on a little clue. When it's a 5, it's going to end up a 5 anyway. So if you actually, with a 5, if you actually forget and just drop down the 5, you're going to be okay. And I'll show you why. But unless this number is a 5 that's sticking out, you're not going to be okay. But with a 5, you will be, and I'll show you why. Because the 7 will become a 6, the 0 will become a 10, and 10 minus 5 is 5. 6 minus 3 is 3. 5 minus 6, I can't do that. So I have to borrow from the 9. The 9 becomes an 8, the 5 becomes a 15. Didn't do a very good 8 there. We're going to kind of make that sideways. 15 minus 6 is 9. I'm going to drop my decimal straight down. Once again, never forget to put your decimal down. Then my 9 became an 8, so I have 8 minus 8. Well, 8 minus 8, I believe, is 0. Then I have 1 with nothing here. If I put a 0 there, that's fine, but it's not necessary. 1 minus nothing is 1. My final answer is 10 and 935 thousandths. All right, so let's move along to these last two here. Here we have 18 and 92 hundredths minus 6 and 374 thousandths plus 9.2. So I'm just going to rewrite these going vertically. And I'm going to start with 18 and 92 hundredths. And I'm going to subtract 6 and 374 thousandths. Now, once again, we're going to want to remember, we don't just drop the 4 down. We need to go ahead and put the 0 down there, because it's not going to be a 4 that's going to go there, as you'll see. We're going to borrow from the 2. We're going to make that a 1. We're going to make that 0 a 10. Then we're going to do 10 minus 4. Well, 10 minus 4 is 6. And if 10 minus 4 is 6, we have 1 minus 7. Okay, we cross off the 9. It becomes an 8. We make the 1 an 11. 11 minus 7 is 4. 8 minus 3 is 5. Then I can take my decimal and drop it straight down. 8 minus 6 is 2. 1 minus nothing is 1. I get 12 and 546 thousandths. But simple thing that's quite often forgot, 5th grade, is we're in a rush and we say, oh, we're done, so it's time to go on to the next problem. Wrong. You do that first problem, don't forget the second step. So we've got to come over here, 12 and 546 thousandths plus 9 and 2 tenths. Ladies and gentlemen, making sure the decimal is lined up. Don't bring that 9.2 over here. Okay? None of that. Line the decimals up. Go ahead and underline that. If I want to, I can put zeros here, because as you know, that will not change the value. I could put zeros here all day and not change the value. This is just still 9 and 2 tenths. But I don't think that's necessary. I think you can just think, well, 6 plus nothing, I'm going to drop down the 6. 4 plus nothing, I'm going to drop down the 4. 5 plus 2 is 7. Drop the decimal straight down. 2 plus 9 is 11. Put the 1 down. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. I get a final answer of 21 and 746 thousandths. Last one, 2 and 75 hundredths plus 6 and 921 thousandths minus 3 and 7 tenths. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got the 2 and 75 hundredths. I'm going to add the 6 and 921 thousandths, and I'll make sure the decimals are lined up. Remember, this is a 0, so I think of it as 0 plus 1, and that's 1. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 9 is 16. Put the 6 down, carry the 1, drop the decimal, folks. Once again, I can't repeat that and reiterate the importance of that enough. Drop that decimal straight down. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 and 671 thousandths. All right, so hope you enjoyed this video, okay? As you're going throughout today, I challenge you to think of Micah 6:8. He has shown thee, O man, what is good, but what does the Lord require of thee? But to do justice and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. All right, good thought to remember for today, 5th grade. We'll talk to you later. Bye.